Hey everybody, welcome to J&J on Jazz, sponsored by Jazzwire.
This is my friend Jeff, who's just back from Canada, and he looks just like a lumberjack right now.
And I'm okay. That's it. They issued me a plaid shirt at the border, and I'm not even going to take it off.
And you've got your axe in your hand. And let's get started.
I couldn't have put it better. So today I want to talk about quotes. And to me, this is sort of interesting. The idea of quoting one song as we're playing another. And I'm talking maybe not specifically about licks and jazz vocabulary, but literally quoting a tune, quoting Take the A Train, quoting Girl from Ipanema, whatever. And James, I'm interested in your thoughts on this because I know people that kind of don't dig that. I've kind of run across some people that think it's a little facile or it's a little too cute or something like that. Do you have a thought on the matter?
I love quotes. I love it when players use this device. Some of my favorite players from the history of the music are great at this. Charlie Parker did this a lot. Of course, one of the greats, I think, was Cannonball Adderley. He was amazing at weaving in nuggets of little melodies into his playing. Special shout out to one of my good friends, the great Pittsburgh trombonist Jeff Bush, who is a master at this. Mm-hmm. I am terrible at putting quotes in my playing. I never, ever do it. And it's not that I don't want to. I just feel like I never do it. I'd like to do more of it, to tell you the truth.
There you go. Well, I think probably as a younger player, maybe I did it too much, actually. And I kind of dig it. Like, one thing I'll say, here's why you should do quotes, you out there, madam, sir, is it teaches you what good melodies are. And it teaches you where they fit over a given tune. So I remember learning what the sixth and the ninth over a minor chord sounds like when I learned this. Invitation, right? That wonderful tune that has the six and the nines in it. So I really did learn what those notes sounded like because of that melody, or what a beautiful ascending major seventh sounded like. So way too often over a C minor chord have I quoted Invitation. Yeah. So I think there's a pedagogical reason, a learning reason to do this, is to know those melodies and to value. Do I quote other moments from Invitation? No. I love the bridge to Invitation, but I don't quote it. Maybe I should learn it better and quote it. But so that opening intro is a great one. So now, as a more mature player, I've never actually called myself mature, and I don't know that that's... Yeah, I'm wearing a plaid shirt. But so maybe what I need to do is take those notes, take the six and the nine, take the interval of a seventh, and do Jeff's version of it, right? And so that's what I try to do. Do I walk around all day quoting Shakespeare and Maya Angelou? No, that's kind of a dorky move, right? If you do that. But what about if you take those ideas and let them inform your thinking and now say something based on that? By the way, you don't have to tell everybody, hey, that was just Shakespeare. I just redid it. You get to celebrate, that everyone thinks you're brilliant now, right? So I'm all for that. Working less hard, being more brilliant all day long.
Solid. Yeah. Well, you mentioned an Invitation, right? And so one that I always find myself playing, I shouldn't say I never do quotes, but I have a couple. The one that I use a lot, that I hear a lot of cats use too, is resolving to the ninth by quoting that great old ballad, Laura, right? This part right here. I use that all the time. I use that a lot on the bridge to rhythm changes. I find myself playing that at the top of a chorus. So that's another one because it's got that really beautiful resolution to the ninth of a major chord. So I guess that's one that I do use a lot, but lots of people use that one. You probably hear that one a lot, right, Jeff?
It's a good one. And, every time I hear it, I think to myself, yeah, that's one I need to do because it's such a beautiful melody, right? Another one on a minor chord.
Mr. PC.
Right?
Yeah.
Mr. PC. And I think as a really young, high school player, someone told me that tune was cool and listened to Coltrane, and that was something I could remember. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. it's great that the repeated notes in there are a little atypical in jazz, right? So those are things, to me, these melodies can teach us a lot. And when they come out as a bit of vocabulary on stage, to me, it's not a bad thing. Now, if I have a grad student that's just quoting way too much, I may take them aside and say, look, bud, this is subjective, but maybe a little less of that. Here's the thing. I don't think I've ever said that to anybody. Mm-hmm. I just don't run across people that sort of do it too much. I may have been the guy that did it too much. So for me, when I think of, how about this? If I say half diminished chord, what comes to your mind? This is because a quote comes to my mind. What comes to your mind when I say half diminished chord? Is it a scalar thing? Is it a mode?
When you say half diminished chord to me, I'm thinking it's the first part of a minor 2/5. So I'm probably going to play some sort of a, that first part of that minor, that 3 to flat 9 lick that I always use. That comes to mind when I hear half diminished. What about you?
Half diminished. I just didn't know what to make of it for a long time. Jamie Aebersold said play Locrian or something. Here's where I finally got the sound. That hip Joe Henderson melody, Inner Urge. And so,
right.
Again, it's repetitive. It's just 3 notes, and it gets that wonderful tritone from the root to the flat 5. So for me, quoting melodies was really gave me a toehold into connecting chord changes, getting past scales, which aren't terribly helpful, when we're just getting going, and learning melodies. Here's a chord change. Here's a melody that goes with that. Right? What a sharp 4 sounds like. I got it from here. That great voice leading moment from Billy Strayhorn's A Train, right? So for me, name a chord quality, and I almost certainly have a melody that I'll quote, because that's how, as a beginning player, I got through that chord change. Was by going, well, don't know any licks, because I didn't have a lot of vocabulary, but I did know a couple tunes.
Jeff, this is what's so great about Jazzwire, and please get behind the paywall and check out what's happening inside Jazzwire, because just in the time we've been talking about this, Jeff and I never prep these. I'm already going back in my mind, and I know when we do this inside Jazzwire, people will be doing this too. I'm going back in my mind and doing sort of a mental inventory of all the different sounds that I associate with certain harmonies and sonorities, and I've got melodies coming out in my head now. So this is a really great example of why talking about these things with other musicians can really give you that spark and help you to start assessing your own playing, particularly for someone like me who tends to be a little bit more of an ear player. I'm going to come away from this week's episode having a couple things to work on. So that's what's really, in addition to wanting to go upstairs and find my plaid shirts and get them all out. So.
Oh, I understand that for sure. No, that's cool. And so what tunes do we talk about? Geez, we did, on my end, I think we did Invitation, Mr. PC, A Train, Inner Urge. You did Laura. There were a couple, was there another one?
No, but the other one I was going to mention was Fascinating Rhythm. That's one that Cannonball quotes a lot at the top of a tune, right? You'll hear that one works a lot. Like where I just played it would work on an F blues. So, yeah, tons of options. Just tons of options.
Well, that's great. Well, I'm going to do a PDF. I'm just going to put these little bits of melodies down. Now, folks should go and investigate the song Laura, the song Inner Urge. But I'll just put these little moments along with sort of the harmonic setting, because these are fantastic licks. And I want to give you guys a deliverable thing out there. By the way, before I forget, I want to let you know the Jazzwire Summer Summit is coming up. Now, this has been called Maryland Summer Jazz for the last 19 years, where it's now under the auspices of Jazzwire. It's coming up in July. We have an online session, which is featuring Chase Sanborn, great Canadian trumpet player. And that's July 15th through 17th. That's the online version for anyone around the world to attend. And then the in-person version here in DC. You and I are both going to be there in person, along with 6 other fantastic faculty members. And that's July 20th through 23rd of 2022. So start signing up, because those are starting to get booked up, actually. And we've never not sold out. So let's forget about all this pandemic stuff and jump into playing music together. So I tell you what, man, let's leave it there. I was excited to find out kind of your take on this thing that was sort of, helpful, informative for me as a younger player. So it was great.
Me too. Thanks, Jeff. This is great. We'll see everybody next time, all right?
Very fun. Take care.